Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. Public appearances.
We do have two students from the UW-SLIS Library School, so one of the assignments is to attend a board meeting. So
Great. Welcome. Well, glad to have you. And a staff member.
Oh, yes, and Kristen Garvey is the Youth Services Manager.
Okay. And welcome. And then two joining by Zoom. Approval of the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the September meeting minutes?
I'll make the motion.
And any discussion, corrections, additions? Seeing none, hearing none, we will, as soon as I can advance here we go. We will ask for approval. So all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions, none. Okay, approved. Financial report. May I have a motion to approve the financial report, register and overview?
I'll make that motion.
John moved. Discussion.
Yeah, I'll run over a couple of things, and then if anybody has questions. Looking at the register of bills paid, all the salary and wage information is fairly standard. There is a charge in account 240 for a replacement card reader. So we use badges as swipes for door security around the building to get into the building and then within the building for staff areas. And we had one of the readers, I believe it was the one by the garage door. It was one of the outdoor ones. The outdoor ones go way faster than the indoor ones. So one of those conked out and was replaced. Let's see what else.
You say that's in
240.
line 240, count 240?
Yep.
I don't see that on this.
And we're looking at July.
This is the one for the, yeah, okay. Okay, yep, go
Okay.
ahead.
Then in account 350, there is a charge there. It's $24.45, not very much for a parking sign. I just wanted to let everybody know. We did have a gentleman who was homeless and living in a vehicle, spending a lot of time in the parking lot, and he had a dog that was very aggressive, and so we were having some patron complaints. He was also staying here overnight. The police have spoken to him about not staying overnight. I had purchased a sign that just said no overnight parking in case we needed to go that route. We did not. We still have it if we need it for the future. But I think that has been resolved. In account 355, you'll see task chairs there. So every year we replace a certain number of task chairs for staff in hopes of never having to do it all at one time because they're expensive. So this was just for this year. We did also replace the teen task chairs. They were original to opening and had not
Lost the ability to go up and down a little bit.
Yeah. they had lived their life and did not want to cooperate anymore. So we have cute new ones that are turquoise and seem to be doing really well. Yeah. But that's sort of an unusual one. Also, magazine subscriptions. It's kind of an odd time of year, so we spend money on collections all year long, but our magazine subscriptions are almost all through one jobber. So we pay one chunk newspapers. There are some newspapers in there as well. And we pay it this time of year because we opened the library in June. So this is our annual update. I will report that those are getting more expensive and folding all the time. So the number of magazines that we have has gone down and down and down. So when Oprah closed, shut down, I thought, can anybody manage to keep a magazine? So there are still some that are kicking along. We are looking as part of the second floor redesign to take away one of the magazine shelving units because we are down so many, and it'll just give us a little bit more space, floor space. In the overview, I had those chairs circled, and then also interest income. We are working on a budget amendment that will go to council, I think sometime in the next month, about utilities. We've talked about this before. Our utility budget was much too low, so we're looking at moving about $35,000. $42,000 of that, or $4,200 of that, $4,800 will come from disability insurance. So we have not had to pay premiums on disability insurance for probably 6 years now, but we always budget for it because we always expect it to come back. So we're going to use that money, and then the balance of it will come out of interest income, which is at $57,000 when we budgeted for 10. And then, of course, the question is what's going to happen next year. We did increase that budget as much as we could going into next year, probably still not high enough. And that will probably get a little bit worse later in the meeting when we talk about the solar panels not working. So things are not really going in our direction there, but we will figure it out. So I think that's all I have. Does anybody have questions?
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is Wex fuel?
Oh, so we buy, when we put gas in the van, we use a program, the whole city uses a program called WEX. So we have a credit card that says WEX on it. It always makes me laugh when it comes in like this because we didn't actually buy gas, but we got a refund from last month's gas. So we have a credit of 39 cents and no actual charge.
Just curious.
Yeah. So it's a weird name and it's a weird amount. You will see, the copier overage. This was the worst one we've had yet. I just sent out an email today to the staff asking that people default to black and white and to just sort of be cognizant of how much they're printing. We haven't seen one this high since, so fingers crossed we're going in the right direction. Any other questions?
Any questions? All in favor of approving the July financial register and overview, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay? Abstentions, none, okay. Unfinished business, I don't think we have any unfinished
We do
business.
not.
Yep, so new business, item 6, item A, 6A, may I have a motion to approve the department presentation policy reviews, youth services?
Probably don't need a motion for that.
No?
We will need motions for the policies when we get to them.
Okay.
So
Any
Chris
discussion on the
has
department?
got a presentation that she's going to do, talk about the youth services department. So we try to do this every year with each department manager. They each have policies that they have that they're responsible for, and then we also have them do a little presentation about their department. So take it away, Kristen.
All right. My name is Kristen Garvey. I'm the Youth Services Manager here. I'll start with a little overview of our department. Let's see if I can get it to click.
This is one of the fabulous bulletin boards that they did.
This is our amazing staff. We have 2 full-time librarians, Margaret Howard, who's our youth services librarian, and Minda Maurer, our outreach librarian. She's in the van. And then we have 4 part-time library assistant 2s. So we have Jesse Newman, Charmaine Sprengelmeyer-Podine, Josh Harper, and Lynn Barrand. Josh is brand new this year, started as a shelver and has been working out great. We really have enjoyed having him around. So everyone else has been here. You may have seen them in this presentation before. Okay, so our department responsibilities, We do all of the youth and teen programs, and so that includes in-person, passive, and take-home. So in-person is what you would think of as like story time, art programs, things like that. Passive programs are things like our scavenger hunt, our coloring sheets. We have a really fun passive program coming up. We've partnered with the Wisconsin Science Festival, so we get to give out 50 science in a bag projects, and so that'll be a lot of fun. That starts tomorrow. And then we also do some take-home crafts and things. We like to do those around like spring break or the holidays when we have a little less staff around, so it's harder to do programs in-house, but people are still looking for something to do.
You got really good at those during the pandemic.
Yes, we did. So then we also do collection development. We do all the ordering and weeding, and that's Margaret and I. It's a lot of fun to get to order all the new stuff. We're doing a big weeding project right now in our JuFic. We're weeding a little more from JuFic so we can expand our juvenile graphic novel collection, which is so popular. It's generally, at least a third of it is checked out at a time. So that's wonderful. We're excited for that. And then we staff the youth services desk, offer things like reader's advisory. So that can be anything from a preschooler looking for a truck picture book or a teacher coming in asking for recommendations or needing something for a class project. And then general customer service, just helping people out, showing people where things are. We do get really excited for our displays and decorations. We have a lot of fun with that, especially around the summer reading program. I don't know if any of you were able to see Margaret's decorations this summer, but they were amazing. The big crayons on all the end caps and things like that. Next year is dinosaurs, so that should be popular as well. So, and then, yeah, of course, we do the summer reading program and the winter reading program. Summer reading program, we basically take 1 month off during the year, otherwise we're either in it or planning for it. The winter reading program's a little more laid back, but still a lot of fun. And then we also have, Margaret manages, at the moment we have 3 teen volunteers, and so they help us with things like our weeding project or doing the pick list, picking out the holds. If we have any craft projects, they can help us with things like that. Oh. And then we have outreach, and that's so Minda is our outreach librarian. This summer, she focused mainly on our pop-up library at the Southdale, in the Southdale neighborhood. And then she followed the Munch Mobile Meals with the River Food Pantry and handed out books and library information. She also is responsible for an evening book club here in the library, and then she often coordinates Spanish story time for us as well. She and Charmaine collaborate with some master gardeners to do the pollinator garden, and we have a lot of fun watching all the little caterpillars. We've had hummingbirds, we had a giant spider.
Spider that we were all checking on every few days.
This year is new. The River Food Pantry is coordinating with us to do a mini food pantry downstairs. So it's in the little area where the restrooms are and the vending machines. So that's been nice to offer, and it's being used regularly. So that's nice. So Minda also does things with the senior center. She regularly goes to Reach Dane, works with the preschoolers there. She had a collaboration with Midwest Mujeres that started last year, but then went into early part of this year as well. Then she connects us really well to the schools. She does a homework club at Nakoma Heights. I believe she has that tomorrow night. Is headed there. And then Saturday school she's done at, I don't know what the school's called now, but it was the Southside Elementary. It just got renamed. Yeah. And then we do literacy nights and other resource events at schools. We have one with Leopold coming up. And then a lot of community events, National Night Out with the police department and car seat safety event. The fire department story time is always a lot of fun. And then Minda put together a community resource fair this year. We just got a ton of the community members to come in with all sorts of resources for the community. It was really great. And then, of course, last but not least, the Story Walk at McKee Farms Park, which we swap out 4 times a year, just seasonally. And it's been a lot of fun. I think we've perfected the art of swapping them out. And
Those new stands are fantastic.
Stands
The
are-
friends
yes.
bought those for us, and they are amazing.
Exactly.
The old ones were so much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can I interrupt? And
Yeah.
what do we do with the Story Walk books once they're done? Are we able to like swap those with other libraries that have them so that they stay fresh?
It would be nice. The problem is they get really faded in the sun, so they just don't end up looking very nice by the time we're done with it. But if we could figure out a UV protection, that would be
No.
great. So,
They kind of take a beating.
yeah,
We used to have problems with water, and now they just fade.
yeah. So, and they seem to be targets for birds as well, but that's thinkable. But
We get calls about that.
Okay, so here's some of our program statistics. This is just through September. So we've had a total of 275 programs so far, with 7,755 people who attended. And then we've had 21 self-directed programs. That includes our March Madness bulletin board, the coloring sheets, the scavenger hunt, things like that. And so those are obviously very popular, with 3,584 participating. Teen programs, we had a total of 19 so far, with 92 in attendance. We like to do the self-directed programs because then teens can do them on their own time, and it seems to work out a little bit better for them. So 195 participating that way. I have noticed since school started, we're getting a nice group just coming in, studying, coming in after class. So
That's a hard population
It
to
is.
attract. So we're happy to see it.
exactly. And then for outreach, Minda's had 30 programs, and these are programs outside the library. Of course, she does a few inside, or sometimes she'll bring people in, but this is just what she's done outside the library. And so then the attendance of 1,529. And from October through December, we'll have another 90 programs. So,
A lot going on down
Kristen,
there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is Dang. In terms of the tracking of these programs, what tool are you using, like Excel or?
Right. Yeah, we use Excel, so we just have a nice little spreadsheet going. If somebody is doing a story time, the other person on desk comes in and just does a quick head count, and then we enter the number right after the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as far as, like the analytical side of the data, right? In terms of what kind of story can we use the data? Does the data tell us, say, trend or comparison from year to year, or story that the library can use to tell, in terms of ties the number to initiative or change or whatever innovation that you might have done?
Right. And
So does Excel help enough, or what else is being done?
So yeah, for example, when Josh started, when he was, curious about what type of programs to do, I said, why don't you look back at all of our statistics, see where we've had quite a few people attend, and start there. And then it is kind of nice because you can see variations in. We have the calendar as well, so we know what time or what day the program was, and you can just kind of compare, okay, this time worked a lot better for that program, or this day worked better.
We were just talking today at a manager's meeting about how, like, Monday afternoon seems to be all of a sudden very popular, and that has not always been the case. So yeah, we're always kind of looking at that. We also keep our stats. We keep them in Dropbox, but we keep them year by year, so you can really easily click through and see, like, what is it compared to. But monthly, we look at monthly a lot because things do tend to kind of follow a pattern through the year.
Right.
But also overall. So we've been watching, real closely since COVID, trying to, like, when are we going to get back to the pre-COVID numbers? And I would say for programming, we're pretty close to that.
Yeah, it feels like
Not for
I was just
checkout.
thinking of harvesting story from the data and
Yep. And I
sort
think,
of use that to help tell out how the good jobs you guys are doing.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think
oh,
we
did
can-
you know we have da da da?
I think we'll incorporate a lot of this into what comes out of the strategic plan. So it'll be helpful there. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had, so if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do.
Excellent. All right.
All right, thanks, Kristen. So we'll go on to Code of Conduct Policy. Motion to approve the Code of Conduct Policy.
I'll make that motion.
John? Any discussion? I think you had a couple updates.
Right, so there were a couple changes that really, it was because the upstairs redesign. So we took out the, an unacceptable behavior, the bringing food into the technology center because the technology center no longer exists. So that was easy. And then same goes for under room designation, the family computing center has now been turned into another study room. So we don't need that as well.
Okay. Any other questions regarding that Code of Conduct Policy? And we need to approve that, Wendy?
Yes, please.
Okay, so John has made the motion to approve. All in favor of approving the Code of Conduct Policy, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained? Okay. And then we'll move to Record Retention Policy. May I have a motion to approve the Record Retention Policy?
So moved.
So move.
Okay, thank you. And any discussion, comments?
This policy is dictated by state statute, so it has not changed.
Yep. So the question I have, and I glanced through it, but, so going back to my work experience, if you have a policy in force that says you're going to keep these records for 5 years, do you have a system, a process that identifies, okay, 5-year window is up?
Tim.
Hi.
Tim is the process.
So most of ours are 7, so there's a whole schedule, and most of them are 7, and Tim keeps a close eye on that.
Okay.
Yep, and it's about that time of the year to start moving stuff into 2026.
Most of the
Start
records
moving others, yeah.
are in there's a storage area in between my office and Tim's
Yep,
office
yep.
with file cabinets in it.
Okay.
Yep.
And I admit I was real bad about hanging on to stuff for longer than 7 years. And three different
Yeah.
administrative assistants had to like help me along the road of like, we don't need these in paper anymore. Most of our stuff is stored by the city.
Electronically, yeah.
Yeah,
So I think our paper records are probably superfluous,
Yeah.
but I haven't gotten far enough to get rid of them yet, so.
Yeah, and I
But what
asked,
do they do with electronic file?
So like all of the bills that we pay, our finance records are in the city's finance software, and they're archived over there. So we can always pull them out of there if we need to, but we do keep a fair amount of paper. I'm very sorry.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
now, so is the 7-year retention, does that apply to electronic records as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, but they manage the destruction of that
Yes.
at
Yep.
that time, at the appropriate
Yep.
time, okay. Yeah, and the reason I brought it up was, I know when that became a big deal for us when we were working, how long you want to keep these? Got to keep them forever. Why?
Right,
Right.
right.
But when you set the process or set a policy, if you're not following the policy,
Yeah,
that becomes a problem.
yes, absolutely.
So if anybody comes and says, I want to know what you did in 2010, our record retention policy is such that we don't keep it beyond 7 years.
Right.
Well, let me take a look at your records. If you have something kept beyond 7 years,
It's,
then it's a problem.
yes,
No.
yes.
All right. Any other questions or comments about the record retention policy? Seeing none, hearing none, may I have, all in favor of approving the record retention policy, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
None, abstained, none, okay. And then gifts to the library policy, may I have a motion to accept the Fitchburg Public Library gift policy? Anyone?
So move.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Like the last cheese curd in the bucket, no one wants to take it.
Okay.
All right, I have this one, and I did make a change under monetary gifts, and I wanted this to match the policy that we use for expenditures better. When I read through it, it just all of a sudden occurred to me that it didn't match that. What it said before was that any cash gifts would be brought to the board to decide how to spend it. And so I would like to change this to match our expenditure policy, that anything over $5,000 or greater would come to the board for input. Anything under that, you know, we get checks in the mail for $100. I put it into operating. We decide where to spend it. I don't think it's a big enough decision for the board until it gets to the 5,000. If it was 5,000 or more, I think definitely there should be a conversation. Both about what the donor is interested in it, in seeing it go to, and then matching that with what the board thinks would be appropriate.
I was wondering where that 5,000 came from.
Yes, that's where it is. So Mariah knows this better than anybody, but the treasurer, when we expend money, I can expend up to $4,999, between $5,000 and $24,999. Mariah, the treasurer, approves it, and $25,000 and over, the whole board approves it. So it just matches that.
Thank you.
And she's so fast about it.
She is, yeah, it makes it so we can
Well, you
keep
give a
rolling.
good description, so I appreciate you telling me what I am looking at.
Yes.
So I appreciate it.
So the 5,000, you say,
Yep.
kind of brings us in line with elsewhere.
Yeah.
And everybody's comfortable with the 5,000? Okay, all right. Any other questions or comments about the gift policy? Okay, so all in favor of approving the Fitchburg Library gift policy, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Opposed? Nay, and no abstentions. Approved. All right, President's report.
Excellent. You want to sneak out?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You can come back anytime.
All right.
Yep,
President report? Do
President's report, yep.
you have anything?
Oh, I was looking for you.
I'm next.
The only thing I have is I heard from Wendy, and she's going to cover this in more detail, but we do have a new board member that was approved by the Common Council last
right.
evening.
Yep.
So she'll update us on all of that, but that's the only thing I have.
Okay.
So the Library Director's report.
All right. You have statistics. I don't think there's anything super remarkable in there. I always find it interesting when we get to September that checkouts go down, adult programs go up a little bit, children's kind of goes back to what their normal is that's not summer. We are missing a number in here, wireless sessions. Apparently there's been an issue with South Central's software and counting that, so I think we're still going to get a number, but it has been delayed. And then you'll also see that ours obviously goes way down after summer is over. Facilities. So we have published the RFP for the children's library redesign for next year. I believe I emailed that out to everybody. So it is hosted on a software that the city uses. Kristen and Tim and I had to work real hard to get an RFP put together. It's the first one we've ever done. So we were following a lot of examples that the city has put together. It's their requirement that we use the software. But we've had I think 13 people download the project on the software, and we've had a number of people just reach out to me directly to get the RFP. So fingers crossed it's open till the 31st of October. We'll do a bid opening that day. And fingers crossed we get some good ideas. I mentioned solar, not great news. Apparently 1/3 of the solar array is not working. If you recall, just the history of this, we put the solar panels on the roof in 2018. We saw, I would say not a great, but a decent reduction in our power bill for a couple of years. It was then really hard to tell. You get to 2020 and we were not open to the public, so it kind of skews things. The power bills have just been going up. We all know we had the chiller problem and the chiller replacement. We really thought that that would be more efficient than it apparently is. Then the solar was out for most of last year because the inverters went bad. The company that gave us a lifetime warranty on those was asked not to do business in the U.S. anymore, so they could not replace them. We worked with Arch Electric, who put the solar panels up, to purchase with city funds new inverters. So we did get new inverters. One of them has already died. It was under warranty, and it was replaced probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it is still not working. So now they're guessing that there's an arc failure somewhere, which when I ask Kevin what that means, he says that's like, are these two connected? Are these two connected? There's 302 panels. I'm guessing it's an hourly rate to go up there and do that. I'm not real excited about that. We don't have a lot of money next year in the budget, as you all know, for building repairs. We are able to carry over from this year if we don't use it, so I don't really want to blow the whole thing on that. There may be city money for this. I needed to, the city administrator mentioned that, so I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. It's disappointing at the very least. So I will keep you posted as that moves along. Personnel, so we had an LA2 in adult services get snatched away from us by UW for a full-time job, and we're very happy for him and sad for us. But the position closed yesterday, and we had 69 applicants, which is fantastic. So we'll be doing interviews in 2 weeks for that. Yeah, I think that'll turn out well. We also have a new board member, as Ken mentioned, Brett Wagner. He was confirmed last night at council. I told him he didn't need to come with 1 day's notice to the library board meeting, so we're going to do an orientation session, and he'll be here in November. So he is focused on literacy, which is a great fit for us. Has been in Fitchburg for 15 years, so I think he'll be a good addition. And that is everything.
Okay. I think next item on the agenda is announcements. I do want to insert here that the Friends of the Fitchburg Library will be having a book sale starting tomorrow evening, and Friday morning, afternoon, and Saturday morning, afternoon. So bring your friends, bring your family, bring your neighbors to the book sale. Then our next library board meeting will be at 5:30 on November 19th here in the library meeting room. I don't have anything else. Wendy, nothing?
Nope.
Then we will adjourn the meeting at 6:02. And we'll see everybody.
Could I have a motion to adjourn the
Oh,
meeting? Yep.
oh,
All right.
yeah, we probably should have a motion to adjourn.
Yep, thank you.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, come on.
Okay, we'll just keep
moved.
talking. So moved. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can stay here all night if nobody wants to.
Having a good time.
So motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.